Good morning! So today you join me for a trip around the dramatic ruins of a castle which is built around 1220 on the site of a previous Iron Age hill fort dating back thousands of years. It is Beeston Castle in Tarporley near Cheshire. The castle was built by Ranulph, the 6th Earl of Cheshire, after he was gifted the land by King John for his loyalty to the crown. And as I mentioned earlier, it utilises a previous Iron Age structure. Evidence for human activity on the site dates back to the Neolithic period, from around 4000 BC. There's also evidence of an early Bronze Age settlement from around 2400 BC, with burial mounds and funeral material, which suggests it was a place of ritual importance. Evidence of a roundhouse was discovered by archaeologists in the 1980s, dating back to around 800 BC. Ranulph died in 1232, and his nephew John Le Scott inherited the castle, although he was to die just 5 years later. Following his death in 1237, Henry III seized the castle, and it was to remain in royalist hands until the 16th century, when it was partially demolished following a siege in the Civil War of 1644. Oh, and by the way, I didn't manage to find King Richard II's treasure, which is rumoured to be buried somewhere in the castle grounds. Oh well, back to work it is then. In 1254, Henry III passed the castle over to his son, who was to become Edward I. During this period it was largely overshadowed by the Castle of Chester and became more of a holding place to retain hostages captured during the Welsh battles. In the 18th century the site was quarried for rock, which led to further damage to the castle, which already lay in ruin. In 1840 the Peckforton estate, which included Beeston, was bought by John Tollemache, a wealthy landowner who largely amassed his wealth from the slave trade and payments from the government, following its abolition in 1833. The castle was seen as a tourist attraction for its guests. In 1846, the present-day ticket office and the outer wall around the crag were built, which formed a boundary for the deer herd and the kangaroos, which surprisingly were kept on site. The castle was taken into state guardianship in 1959, before being passed to English Heritage in 1984. Unfortunately, I was unable to film the roundhouse as there was a party of school children on site at the time of my visit. These caves under the sandstone ridge are natural. They were excavated in 1924 and various items were discovered, some dating back to the early medieval period, including coins and pottery. More recently, a rare species of bats were discovered, the lesser horseshoe bat. Well, that was Beeston Castle in Tarporley near Cheshire. Make sure you bring your hiking boots. It's a beautiful day today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Cheers.